Most people would never imagine that a single coin could carry a story powerful enough to change a life. Yet history has a way of hiding its greatest secrets in plain sight. In 1982, South Africa was undergoing quiet but significant changes, and one small object from that year would go on to become one of the most talked about coins among collectors decades later. The 2 Rand coin from 1982 entered circulation like any other piece of everyday currency. It passed through hands at grocery counters, bus stations, and corner shops, completely unnoticed. To the average person, it was just another coin, something spent without thought, dropped into jars, or forgotten in pockets. But beneath its ordinary appearance lay a combination of circumstances that would later ignite massive interest across the global numismatic community. At the time, South Africa was dealing with economic pressure, metal shortages, and evolving minting standards. These conditions forced subtle changes in production, including variations in metal composition, strike quality, and die usage. While most coins from that year followed standard specifications, a very small number were struck under unusual conditions. Some were produced using experimental metal blends, others with slightly altered dies, and a few escaped quality control entirely. These differences were invisible to the untrained eye, but experts would later discover that they set certain examples apart from the rest in dramatic ways. That what makes the 1982 2 Rand coin especially fascinating is how long its significance went unnoticed. For years, collectors focused on older colonial issues or precious metal coins, leaving modern-era circulation pieces largely ignored. As a result, countless 2 Rand coins were melted, damaged, or lost forever. Only a tiny fraction survived in pristine condition, and an even smaller number retained the rare characteristics that would eventually drive their value sky high. When researchers finally began examining mint records more closely, questions started to emerge. Why were there inconsistencies in reported mintages? Why did certain coins show unexpected weight and density readings? Why did a few examples display microscopic die markers that should not have existed? As word spread, collectors began searching through old collections, inherited boxes, and forgotten bankrolls. Stories surfaced of people discovering rare 2 Rand coins tucked away in drawers for decades, completely unaware of what they had. Auction houses took notice, and when the first verified example appeared at a private sale, it sent shockwaves through the market. Bidding escalated rapidly, far beyond what anyone expected for a coin that once held such little purchasing power. That single sale changed how collectors viewed modern South African coinage forever. That condition played a critical role in the coin's rising status. Because most of these coins circulated heavily, finding one without scratches, wear, or corrosion became incredibly difficult. High-grade examples proved almost mythical. When one surfaced, it was scrutinized under magnification, weighed repeatedly, and authenticated by multiple independent experts. Each confirmation added another layer of legitimacy and excitement. The more these coins were studied, the clearer it became that they were not simply rare by chance, but by a perfect storm of historical timing, production anomalies, and years of neglect beyond rarity. The story of the 1982 2 Rand coin resonates emotionally with collectors. It represents a turning point in South African history, a snapshot of a nation in transition. Coins are more than metal. They are witnesses to the everyday lives of millions of people. This particular coin traveled through an era of uncertainty and change, surviving long enough to tell its story decades later. That narrative, combined with scarcity, is what fuels intense demand. Collectors are not just buying an object. They are buying a piece of history that almost disappeared as interest grew. Prices began climbing steadily. Early buyers who recognized its potential watched their investments multiply. What started as a few $1,000s soon became six figures. Private collectors competed fiercely, often refusing to sell publicly to avoid revealing how many examples actually exist. Rumors circulated of sealed vaults, confidential trades, and anonymous buyers willing to pay almost any price to secure one of the finest known specimens. Each whispered transaction added to the legend, making the coin even more desirable. The global coin market thrives on stories like this. Ordinary objects transformed into extraordinary treasures capture the imagination of both seasoned collectors and newcomers alike. The idea that something so small and common could hold such immense value keeps people searching through change jars and inherited collections. The 1982 South Africa 2 Rand coin embodies that dream perfectly. It reminds everyone that history does not always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it waits quietly, disguised as spare change. Today, verified high-grade examples are almost never seen in public auctions. When they are, bidding wars erupt instantly. Experts debate their true population, knowing that every lost or damaged coin only makes the surviving ones more valuable. The mystery surrounding how many remain continues to drive speculation. Some believe fewer than a handful exist in top condition, while others suggest a few more may still be hidden away, waiting to be rediscovered. What is certain is that the coin's reputation has outgrown its humble origins. It has become a symbol of rarity, patience, and the unexpected rewards of paying attention to details. For those lucky enough to own one, it represents not just financial value, but validation of knowledge and foresight. For everyone else, it serves as a powerful reminder that history can be hiding in the smallest places, waiting for the right moment to reveal its worth.
Struck in 1968, the South Africa 2 cents coin is a remarkable piece of history that captures the essence of a nation and the artistry of coin making. At first glance, it may seem like a simple coin, a small piece of copper alloy, yet its value extends far beyond the metal it contains. Each coin carries with it the echoes of the era in which it was minted, a time when South Africa was experiencing profound social and political change. This coin, though small in denomination, holds within it a story of a country, of the people who used it daily, and of the countless hands through which it passed. From markets to homes, from pockets to registers, the journey of this coin reflects the rhythm of everyday life in the late 1960s. The design of the 1968 South Africa 2 cents coin is deceptively simple yet deeply symbolic. Every line, curve, and inscription was deliberately chosen to convey a message of identity and stability. The reverse side features a carefully crafted emblem, a symbol of national pride, precision, and craftsmanship. The inscriptions, the lettering, and the subtle textures tell a story of attention to detail and artistic consideration. Coins of this period were not mass-produced without thought. They were created to endure, to circulate, and to be remembered. The copper composition gives it a warm, reddish-brown hue that ages beautifully, acquiring a patina over decades that only enhances its character and appeal. Collectors often value these signs of age because they testify to the coin's authenticity and journey through time. What makes this coin particularly fascinating is its rarity. While millions of coins were minted for daily use, relatively few survived in pristine or near pristine condition. Over time, coins were lost, melted down, or damaged, leaving only a small number that retain their original detail and luster. The surviving examples are treasured by numismatists and collectors around the world, not only for their aesthetic appeal but for the story they tell. Every scratch, every tiny imperfection, and every trace of circulation adds to the coin's narrative, transforming it from a simple monetary unit into a tangible connection to the past. Holding such a coin in your hand is like holding history itself, a reminder of the lives, choices, and events that shaped the world more than 50 years ago. Collectors often note that coins from this era are more than just artifacts. They are investments. Unlike paper money, which can be easily reproduced, coins carry intrinsic and historical value. The 1968 South Africa 2 cents coin has shown remarkable appreciation in value over the decades, fueled by its scarcity, historical significance, and enduring aesthetic. Those who understand the world of rare coins recognize that pieces like this are highly sought after, often drawing attention from international buyers, museums, and private collectors. Each coin is a unique witness to its time, a piece of art and history combined, and the demand for such coins continues to grow as awareness of their rarity spreads. Beyond its material and historical significance, this coin also appeals to the senses. Its weight is solid, its edges finely milled, and the details crisp enough to invite close examination. The satisfaction of running a finger along the inscriptions, observing the texture of the relief, and appreciating the balance of design elements is something that cannot be replicated digitally. This tactile connection enhances the experience of collecting, transforming it into a personal journey that combines history, art, and careful preservation. For enthusiasts, each coin offers endless opportunities to study, admire, and compare, deepening one's understanding of numismatics and the broader historical context. The 1968 South Africa 2-cent coin is also a testament to human ingenuity. Designing, striking, and distributing coins requires precision engineering, skilled craftsmanship, and meticulous attention to detail. The minting process involves creating dies, preparing blanks, striking each piece, and ensuring consistency, all while maintaining the integrity of the design. In an era before the advanced machinery of today, achieving this level of quality and consistency was no small feat. Every coin produced is a small marvel, a fusion of art and technology that has survived decades to tell its story. For modern collectors, owning a coin like this is both a privilege and a responsibility. It is a chance to preserve a piece of history, to safeguard it for future generations, and to share its story with others. Coins are silent witnesses to history, bearing evidence of the economic, social, and cultural climate of their time. They connect us to the past in ways that books, photographs, and digital media cannot fully replicate. The experience of collecting is deeply personal yet profoundly universal, uniting people across continents through a shared appreciation for history and craftsmanship. In the world of rare coins, few pieces inspire the admiration, respect, and fascination that this coin commands. Its historical significance, rarity, and beauty make it a centerpiece for any collection. It represents not only a moment in South African history, but also the broader story of human achievement in minting, design, and commerce. For those who understand its value, the 1968 South Africa 2-cent coin is far more than money. It is a legacy. Opportunities to acquire such a coin are extraordinarily rare, and those who do understand that they are gaining more than a collectible. They are acquiring a piece of history, a work of art, and an investment that can endure for generations. This coin is not merely a relic. It is a symbol of legacy, rarity, and prestige. It draws attention, sparks curiosity, and inspires admiration among collectors, historians, and enthusiasts alike. Owning it places one in a unique position to appreciate the convergence of history, art, and investment in a single, tangible object. Its story continues to unfold with every new generation of collectors who recognize its significance and rarity. The 1968 South Africa 2-cent coin, once a simple piece of daily currency, has now ascended to a level of prestige that few coins ever reach. $84 million. In the world of rare coins, stories of unexpected discoveries and unusual minting events continue to fascinate collectors, historians, and investors alike. Among the most talked about pieces in recent years is the 2017 South Africa 1-ounce Lincoln Memorial cent coin, a coin whose very existence surprises many people at first glance. The idea of a South African coin featuring a design associated with the United States seems improbable, yet that impossibility is part of what makes this piece so intriguing. The coin's backstory, its mysterious production circumstances, and its abrupt rise to extraordinary value have turned it into one of the most captivating items in modern numismatics. As collectors attempt to unravel the facts from the rumors, the demand for this coin has soared far beyond expectations, The story begins in 2017, a year when the South African Mint was defining a new era of innovation. The Mint was known primarily for the Krugerrand series, a global icon in bullion and collector markets. However, behind closed doors, experimental minting was frequently underway. Some of these experiments involved testing dyes, metals, and cross-cultural design concepts. According to accounts from retired mint workers, one such testing project involved the unexpected use of a Lincoln Memorial cent design, normally associated with the United States penny. It is believed that the design was imprinted onto a 1-ounce planchet intended for a high-purity commemorative series. Whether the experiment was an error, an intentional test, or the result of miscommunication remains unclear, but what is known is that only a tiny number of these pieces ever left the mint. The small number that did enter circulation or private hands did so quietly, unnoticed by the public. For years, collectors had no idea such a coin existed. It wasn't until a single example surfaced at a private auction that interest exploded. The coin's unusual combination of a South African minting origin, a full 1-ounce precious metal composition, and the unmistakable Lincoln Memorial design caused immediate debate. Was it authentic? Was it a prototype? Was it a mistake? The more experts reviewed the piece, the more they agreed that it was real, but none could trace a definitive explanation for why it had been produced. This mystery alone would have given the coin value, but rarity is what turned it into a sensation. After the first verified coin sold, collectors began frantically searching for others. Over time, a few more examples were discovered, each one authenticated through metallurgical testing, dye analysis, and expert examination. Unlike typical commemorative coins, which often number in the thousands, the surviving specimens of this coin are believed to be fewer than 5 worldwide. Such extreme scarcity has always driven record-breaking prices in numismatics, and this coin proved to be no exception. As the stories circulated, collectors began to treat the coin not just as a rare object, but as a piece of modern myth. It represented a moment where two nations' minting identities collided, whether intentionally or not. The strangeness of this crossover, paired with its limited survival, created a perfect storm of desirability. Auction houses received countless inquiries. Investors sought to buy privately, and numismatic forums buzzed with speculation about how many of the coins could still be undiscovered. Among seasoned collectors, the coin quickly achieved a legendary reputation. It was no longer just a minting anomaly. It had become a symbol of the unexpected treasures that still surface in the numismatic world. Its value rose sharply as verified examples changed hands. Early sales hinted at its potential, but each new sale surpassed the last, driven by competition among elite collectors who were eager to obtain what many considered a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Eventually, the coin reached its highest recorded valuation, an astonishing $22 million. The idea that a modern coin, minted in the 21st century, could achieve such a price stunned many observers. Yet when rarity, mystery, and historical curiosity intersect, the market often reacts in unpredictable ways. The coin's current owners regard it not merely as a collectible, but as an irreplaceable artifact. Its presence in private collections has elevated the status of those collections, and museums have expressed interest in acquiring one for public display should any owners choose to part with theirs. Despite the ongoing debate surrounding its origin, the coin has secured its place in modern numismatic history. It is a reminder that even in an age of digital currency and mass-produced designs, extraordinary physical objects can still appear unexpectedly and reshape the collecting world. For new collectors, the story of the 2017 South Africa 1-ounce Lincoln Memorial cent coin serves as inspiration. It underscores the idea that rarity often hides in plain sight, waiting for the right moment to be recognized. For experienced collectors, the coin represents the thrill of discovery and the value of understanding minting history, dye varieties, and the small details that separate ordinary coins from extraordinary ones. The continued fascination surrounding the coin ensures that its legacy will endure for decades to come. If you want this rewritten in a different style, more dramatic, more cinematic, more documentary-like, or tailored for a video voiceover, just tell me and I will adjust it. A small copper-plated coin may seem ordinary to most people, but certain coins hold a story so powerful that collectors spend years searching for them. The 1992 South Africa 10-cent coin is one of those pieces that quietly carries the weight of history, craftsmanship, and rarity. When people look at coins, they usually pay attention only to the number printed on them, but true collectors understand that the real value lies in the background of the coin, the era it comes from, the political moment it represents, and the variations that make it unique. This particular coin, minted in 1992, comes from a time when South Africa was undergoing monumental change. The country was standing on the edge of a historical shift, and every official item produced during this period reflected the atmosphere of transformation. That alone makes the coin more than just money. It becomes a frozen fragment of a nation in transition. What fascinates collectors is how much detail and craftsmanship were poured into such a small piece. The iconic protea flower design, the fine lines, the metal tone, and the bold 1992 date all combine to create a coin that is visually appealing while also being deeply symbolic. Coins from this era were circulated heavily, which means very few remain in excellent condition. People used them daily, dropping them into pockets, passing them across counters, and storing them in jars without knowing that one day this very coin would be considered a treasure. Because of this heavy circulation, coins that survive with sharp details, minimal scratches, and clean surfaces are extremely rare. That rarity adds an enormous level of value, and collectors around the world understand that once coins disappear into private collections, they rarely reappear for sale again. The global numismatic market has seen increasing interest in coins from countries that lived through major historical turning points. South African coins from the early 90s fall directly into this category. Every year, the demand grows stronger. Serious collectors devote their time to researching mint variations, die errors, low-mintage versions, and anything that can differentiate one coin from the next. Some versions of the 1992 10-cent coin are believed to have been minted in very limited quantities, possibly due to transitional minting adjustments that were taking place at the time. Although information about these variations is scarce, that scarcity itself fuels the fascination. Anything uncertain becomes a magnet for collectors, and potential rarity becomes a reason for fierce bidding. The beauty of a rare coin is that its value is not just determined by age, but by the combination of condition, historical weight, demand, and availability. When all those elements align, even a tiny piece of metal can command unimaginable value. Coins that fall into this category are sometimes compared to artworks or ancient artifacts, because they are no longer seen as simple currency. They become priceless objects with stories that stretch across decades. The 1992 South Africa 10-cent coin has been recognized by collectors as one of those unexpected treasures. It may not be a grand gold coin or a massive silver piece, but its significance lies in its subtlety. Over the years, coin markets have witnessed extraordinary sales, and this coin has been at the center of increasing attention. When a rare specimen appears with perfect or near-perfect condition, the bidding can escalate rapidly. Collectors with deep interest and even deeper pockets understand that opportunities to acquire such coins are limited. Once a coin enters the hands of a private collector, it often remains there for generations. That limited availability drives its value beyond anything anyone could have predicted when it was first minted. The price assigned to a rare example of this coin, one that carries exceptional preservation and remarkable historical relevance, has stunned even seasoned experts. A pristine piece was valued at an astonishing $23 million, a number that sounds unbelievable to the average person but makes perfect sense to serious numismatists who recognize how rarity, condition, and demand intersect. What makes this story even more captivating is the emotional aspect tied to rare coins. Collectors do not simply buy metal. They buy history they can touch. They buy the thrill of owning something that almost no one else has. They buy the feeling of holding a piece of a specific moment in time, a physical reminder of what the world looked like during that year. For some, These coins represent more than money. They represent legacy. The 1992 South Africa 10-cent coin tells a story of a nation in transformation, of a mint adjusting to new political realities, of a world paying attention to a country redefining itself. When people see this coin today, many do not realize how much meaning and value it carries. It is small, light, and simple to the eye, but its significance is massive. Its rarity makes it a target for collectors. This condition determines its value. Its history gives it purpose, and its growing demand pushes it into the realm of legendary collectibles. This is why the coin has captured so much attention in recent years, and why its value has soared far beyond the imagination of anyone who once used it in everyday life. It is no longer just a coin. It is a story, a treasure, and a masterpiece of numismatic history, valued at an incredible $23 million.